So here we are, Washington, D.C., Union Station, and we're at the America 250 event for Ford. Yes, Ford America 250. So let's go in and have a look at the vehicles that are in Union Station. They'll be here for July 1st to July 14th. Hey there, it's William Westhopper from the Real DCCarGuy, and we're here at Union Station in Washington, D.C., looking at the Ford display that they'll have up until July 14th, so it's kind of cool. So let's go turn around some of the things that we can see here.
Hey, I'm Ted Ryan, Archives and Heritage Brand Manager for Ford Motor Company.
And Ted, what's going on here at Union Station in Washington, D.C., July 1st to July 14th?
We're at Union Station where we have an amazing exhibit of 10 cars and then special items that I brought from the archives to show how Ford has belonged in America for 123 and a half of the 250 years Ford in America. I'm standing in front of the World's Fair Mustang from 1964 World's Fair. And this car was actually used on the ride. So if you visited the fair at the Ford Pavilion, like the 15 million other people did, you would have a chance, the door would open up, you would get in the car, and you would go for a 12-minute ride that was designed by Walt Disney and Company to see the history of the world and a time capsule.
So was this vehicle ever a roadworthy vehicle used on the road, or was it only used in the ride?
It was used on the ride, but then Ford being Ford, we put an engine in it and sold it as a used car when the fair closed down. And yes, it was roadworthy, so sold as a used car. The person that bought it knew it had been a World's Fair car, so they treated it like a show car. It only has 35,000 actual road miles on it. Now, however many miles it did on that track with Disney, I don't know, I bet if you added it all together, it'd be in the hundreds of thousands. But it was roadworthy and owned by a single owner for 20 some odd years, who sold it to another one. Eventually, it made its way to Sam Pack, the great dealer in Dallas, Texas, who loaned it to me for this exhibit.
Great, and so tell me about some of these other vehicles. We've got the 15 millionth Model T there. We've got a GP, not a Jeep, a Ford GP there. We've got some pickup trucks. So tell me more about what's going on here.
We do. We have 10 trucks that I tried to pick a variety that would represent Ford Motor Company. So the 15th million and last Model T ever built is behind me over there. It's in a collection of the Henry Ford Museum. And it, just like the Mustang, are in on the National Register of Historic Vehicles, which Haggerty operates as a nonprofit. So two great vehicles. I have Jay Leno's classic 1934 flathead Ford pickup truck. He loaned it to me because it reminded him the very first car he ever owned was a 1934 flathead Ford. He took 2 years to renovate. We have a 1941 Ford GP, which was the predecessor of what became the Army Jeep. GP stands for General Purpose, which the GI shortened into Jeep. So the GP became the Jeep, and I have a Ford GP from October of '41, well before Pearl Harbor. Later in the war, the Army wanted interchangeable parts, so we put a Willis engine in it, Willis Overland, but the basic body style of the Jeep was a Ford design. Across the bay from it, I have a 1966 Unser Bronco, which was the Bronco that won Baja in 1968, the first time a Bronco ever won. In the far corner over there, I have a 1928 Model A, the car that replaced the Model T. Very distinctive, designed by Edsel Ford, and is the first car to ever have the blue oval on the front.
And you also have a piece of farm equipment here.
I do. I've got a 1951 tractor that Ford was selling. Ford actually sold more tractors than any other manufacturer for many years. In fact, we haven't made a tractor in 40 years, and we're still number 3 on the all-time list of U.S. tractor manufacturers.
And in addition to that, there are little boxes around with objects, photographs, brochures, and all of that, which I think are just amazing, and those really are important to look at as well.
The display boxes are divided between our different columns, like American Innovation, the backbone of work, Answering the Call, and Pop Culture. So they will be examples of objects from our archives that will help explain the role that Ford had a little bit more fully. And you know, we did all this so that people could come and enjoy some really amazing cars. So as part of this, I love seeing all the people come in. And first thing that most people do, they pull out their phones and they take the pictures, and that's why you do something like this. The last two that we have is a 1956 T-Bird, beautiful, beautiful color, and then a 1954 F100. I had to represent the F Series in some way, shape, or form. So amazing collection of cars, display materials, and hopefully everybody can come to see this free exhibit at Union Station between July 1st and July 14th. It's making memories, and I've loved the fact I've seen so many people walking up with their cameras and people reading the labels and looking in the exhibit boxes. If you're in the museum business like I am, that's a godsend.
So greetings from Ford and greetings from Driving America Forward.
I want to thank you for watching this episode of the Real DC Car Guy as we took a look at the Ford America 250 event at Union Station, and it's been pretty cool. And of course they have these great Ford trucks outside showing them off. Now you might want to follow up. You might want to go and do on a Raptor Rally, which they have around the country. This one's in Arizona. And then Veterans Day Classic race day. Let's see, that's pretty cool too. So find out more about those things here. So thank you very much for watching this episode of the Real DC Car Guy.